So you all asked for it. Noovo has delivered. This is the Noovo Next on the Sprinter chassis. Let's get into it. Starting here on the outside, we're going to get right into the basics. They, of course, are building this on the Sprinter chassis, like you asked for. This currently is on a 2500, but this is just a prototype. The final model will be on the 3500 XD. It's going to have the super single wheel here in the back, so you're not going to worry about those dualies. So when you're hitting the trails, no rocks are going to get in between those tires. Standard, upgraded wheels, upgraded tires to all terrains, and they are using the BF Goodwrench KO3s now. Standard, Falcon. These are adjustable shocks. They're going to be all the way around, and I believe it is going to be the Stage 4. So if you're familiar with that, or if you're not, take a look, check it out, because it is a pretty serious suspension setup. Here on the front, you will see there is going to be a front bumper. That is going to be standard as well, I believe. But like I said, this is a prototype model. There will be some changes, and I know they are looking at a few options for this setup. So just stay tuned. Of course, here on the backup, you are going to find all the Rover Vans gear and accessories. And this right here is their new clamshell box. This thing opens up in a really interesting way, like this, and then push these two buttons down like that. Gives you a little place to do some outside cooking if you wanted. Here on the back of your rig, also lots of storage, a very great size. Right next to it, you have the tire carrier and ladder. These things are beefy, durable, really good powder coats, welds, so definitely would say that this is the setup. These though are optional, but I would highly recommend definitely considering throwing them on the back. They make a big difference.
So I want to show you that you can also get onto the roof with all of this.
And now a few of the little other touches that Noovo threw on the outside. Not the fun recovery gear and big storage boxes, suspension, but the basics that everybody needs. Right here, you have a house outlet, so your standard 110, 120 outlet. You got an extra solar input port here, so you can add some portable solar panels if you want to get a little bit of extra solar intake during the day. Of course, you have your hitch here on the back, an essential. Then you have your lockable water fill port right here. To me, that is a nice little touch. You know, nobody's messing with your water. Of course, you have your smart plug. This is a 30 amp plug, and the smart plug is honestly my favorite for a shore power plug. Next, for recovery gear, they also slapped on some Max Tracks, some traction boards here. I actually don't know if these ones are Max Tracks or not, but they're traction boards. And these mounts are some awesome magnet mounts. Of course, they have the safety clips. Don't need to worry about those going anywhere. We've had these for a few years. Absolutely love these mounts. Down low, you can see they threw your stinky slinky hose holder. They got that mount down there to make it convenient, so you don't have to worry about where you're going to store that thing. So that is where your gray water hose, aka the stinky slinky hose, stores. And then of course you have your dump port. This is for your gray water because Noovo uses a dry flush toilet or a cassette toilet in all their models. You'll see when we get inside what they're using in here, but just gray water right there.
So right here, before we even step up inside, we have this awesome little shoe cubby where you can definitely fit a couple pairs of sandals or sneakers. And we have an outdoor table that pulls out very easily and is held up right here, so you can store your drinks, your snacks, whatever you need when you're sitting here outside when you're camping. And also hidden right behind me was two 120 outlets as well. And this bug wall cover that unclips and comes all the way down here comes standard on the Sprinter as well. So up front here, you've got all the standard luxurious features that you would expect from a Mercedes Sprinter chassis. And of course, you have your swiveling seats that will turn all the way around so you can have a comfortable living area and space to hang out with people while you're camping. What I love so much about this dining area is that your table actually expands out even further. So all you do is pull the handle underneath and it comes out a couple of different ways, and you can expand all of your territory here, not only for when you're eating, but maybe you have a couple of computer monitors, so you need to set up your workstation here while you're working during the daytime. So what I'm sitting on here is their upgraded couch cushion seat. So this is much thicker, and me just sitting here right now is so comfortable, and I could definitely hang out and work here for a while or sit here for a meal. And down underneath the table, you have your one USB-A, USB-C, two 120 plugins, and you have two other storage shelves as well. And so many of you know by now that this table drops down and turns into an extra bed space. We are actually here at the Adventure Van Expo right now, so we are not going to show that.
And up above the dinette space, you have some storage here at the end. You can put a little plant or whatever you want in there. So coming over here to the left, you have your Garmin control panel. This is Noovo branded, and this is where you will literally control everything in the Noovo Next. Your first home screen, you'll see you just have some basic information. It's kind of just a summary of kind of the most important things. Next to that, you will see you have your battery screen, and that's where the fun comes. This is a 51 volt system. You probably are commonly familiar with a 48 volt system. They usually run like around 51 volts. So this would be a 48 volt system by most manufacturing standards, I guess. But that means it has approximately at 12 volt, I believe around 1300 amp hours. So that is a pretty beefy system if you're going to compare it to a 12 volt system. Going over to the next screen, you will see this is where you control your air conditioning, your heat, and your hot water. And what is really amazing about Noovo, if you've watched any of our tour videos, any of our vlogs, we love the Rixon system. That's what they use. Feeds right off your gas or diesel tank. This, of course, is a diesel, so it goes right off your diesel tank. And they, in the Sprinter, they got crazy. They got wild, and they threw in-floor heating. So they added that addition from Rixon, and that is going to make it so your feet are nice and toasty warm on those cold days. Then you can, on this screen, swipe over from your hydronic heat over to your AC, and this is where you can control your air conditioner. Going over to the next screen, you will see this is where all your lights are. You can control everything from this panel, as well as an additional panel in the rear from the bed, which we'll show you that shortly. And everything is dimmable. So as you can see, you have slider bars here. I guess that's what I'd call them. And you can just light up everything. You can turn it all down. You can dim it. It is just really nice. You can get that good touch. You know, when you want to just relax at night and not have too much light on, watch a movie, there you go. Next screen here is something also important. Your Starlink and your heating pads. So this cupboard next to me is where your Starlink routers and power adapter are mounted, and you do not have to do anything in there. It's mounted on the roof, everything. You just hit that button, Starlink turns on, makes it easy for you. You'll also see, like I said, is where you access your heat pads. So because the Sprinters are a little narrower, the guys had to get creative. They had to throw the fresh water tank underneath the rig, as well as the two gray water tanks. And yes, two gray water tanks. They're split just because of the way that the framing and stuff is on the Sprinter. But they are insulated, and they all have heat pads. And this is where you'll turn them on. They're 12 volt heat pads, very efficient. So you don't have to worry about that power consumption as much as if it was a 120.
So one of my favorite parts of a van is always the kitchen, and man, this one's incredible. So as you can see here, you have a giant counter space, but what you're not seeing is the 2-burner induction cooktop that is hidden underneath here. So let me show you how this works. So they have their own cookware that you can use on this cooktop, or you can use a mat and use general induction cooktop pans on this as well. So in the first drawer right here is actually the control panel for your cooktop. And as we move down, there's just lots of storage space in all of these cabinets, and all of them are actually soft close, and they have those marine locks that you'll see on luxury yachts, and that will make sure when you're driving on all those bumpy roads that these will not fall open. And of course, Noovo had to put in their awesome pantry space right here, and yes, it is large enough to put a bottle of wine in here. And right down here at the end of the galley, we have 2 manual light controls right here, along with 2 other huge cubby storage spaces, so they're utilizing all of the storage possible in this van. And underneath the sink, you have a huge extra storage space that is also going to house your trash can as well. So you've got your nice deep sink up here, and this right here is where you're going to get your filtered water. So underneath here is a hospital grade filtration system, so you don't have to worry about what you're drinking. Even more storage space up above your sink. You can hold so much in here, and what I love is these are actually felt lined so that you don't have to worry about all of the banging all over the place when you're driving on those roads. And look at this. Even more storage space. Yes, there may be some toilet paper in here right now, but you can fit glasses, plates, all sorts of things up here as well. And so right back here, we have our fridge and freezer. So opening this up, you have your large freezer space right up here, and lots of storage both on the door and inside. But there's actually another fridge space right here. So you pull out this drawer, and oh my goodness, you can actually fit a gallon of milk in here. So this is incredible space for all of your food and drinks. And you guys, look at this giant space right here. I would definitely call this your wardrobe. And I don't know if you noticed, but when I opened that up, these are motion censored lights. So you do not need a manual light switch. All you have to do is close this, and boom, those lights will be off until you open it up again.
Coming over from the kitchen galley, we have the shower and the toilet. And this is pretty spacious. They of course use their angled build, and it gives you that a little bit more shoulder width in your elbow room. Let me step in and just show you kind of a height-wise how it is. So I'm exactly 6 foot, so you can see I have like a sliver of space there. If you're 6'1", 6'2", you'd fit, but you'd have to put your head down a little bit. I believe Bob from the Van Caskys is 6'1", and his head just touched, so he needed to get down to shower. So, I mean, I shower usually like this anyways. You're kind of used to it in van life, but there's a reason for that, and I'll get into that in just a minute. Down here is the dry flush toilet. This is the Modiwell. They're testing this out right now because it is very good size, the bags that are used for it. So they're going to see how this works. It may not be in the final model, or it might be an option. We will just have to see how that works out. And you have, of course, your waterproof toilet holder and your controls for your shower. And they did bring back the original bigger shower head that we have in our Noovo light, and it is spectacular. So thank you guys for that. So like I was explaining in the shower, you have a few inches less headroom because, and like I said with the Garmin panel, there is ducted AC. I wanted to save that kind of for the middle of the tour because that is a big deal, a really big deal. We've had a ducted RV before, we still own it, and it is a night and day difference, to be completely honest. It really circulates the air much better, and they use directional ports. You can open, close them, and you have one above the kitchen galley, one above the dinette area, and 4 in the bedroom area.
So coming back here in the bedroom, we have a beautiful queen size, around 65 by 75 memory foam mattress. So this is super comfortable. And what's so amazing about this bed is it's actually north to south. So most vans, you're sleeping east to west. So you get to hang out and be just like this. And you're surrounded by all of your storage. So let's show you that. Overhead storage, overhead storage. It is everywhere. Behind me, we have a cubby and more overhead storage. And if I put my hand in here, you can see the depth and how many clothes and other items that you can fit in all of these cabinets. On each side of the bed, you have 10-inch deep storage bins right here. Storage cubby here, storage cubby here, manual light switch, USB-A, USB-C, and a 120.
And that's on both sides.
And this is what Neal mentioned earlier. You can pull off this Garmin screen right here and you can control all your lights, turn your Wi-Fi on and off, do whatever you need to do right here while you're sitting in bed. This is awesome. We have reading lights on both sides of the bed here, and these can actually go red or white. And the coolest part is there is a projector screen in the back. So if you thought you were missing a TV, you are not.
And as you can see, this is where the magic happens when it comes to reclining in bed. They have these two lifts right here on both sides, and you can see in here all the mechanisms. It's all nice and clean. Like I said, this is a prototype, so they may be making some changes to these. They've been testing out a few different various ones to see which ones work the best, but they will nail it down for you. And above my head, you can see this beautiful branding. They have the laser cut Noovo ran in here, and then right here they have the metal panel that says Noovo. Just adds that little touch of luxury that you come to expect from the team at Noovo. That's pretty cool. So we wanted to get back to our Noovo to close out this tour video. That way we could sit with you, give you some accurate numbers. That way you are fully informed. Like we said too, this is just prototype 1. They are going to be making some small changes. They're going to be making that walkway into the side of the van a little bit more open. So they're going to take a little bit of the countertop away there. And also in the walkway, they're going to try to make that a little more spacious down the center of the van. And they are using a 51 volt Lithionics lithium battery system along with Victron components and that Garmin screen that can control everything. And along with those Lithionics batteries, you are also going to have a dedicated second alternator. And since this is a 51 volt system, that is going to be extremely fast recharge times. We are talking an hour to an hour and a half to fully charge the system if it was all the way down.
As of right now, there is no microwave in the Noovo Next, but we think there is going to be an option for an all-in-one portable air fryer type sort of thing. But these things are going to change as production ramps up, so let us know down in the comments. Would you prefer to have a microwave in your Noovo Next? This is really important for us to know, as the Noovo team wants all of this feedback.
So we know people are going to ask for measurements, specific small details, those type of things that are important for when you want to purchase your van. But like we said, this is prototype 1, and they're going to be making a few or maybe many small changes to the size of things, and that's going to change the space and the overall dimensions. And we have also been asked, can you fit a full-size bike in the back? We wish we would have had one with us there, or there would have been somebody driving by when we were filming our video that we could have snagged their bike. But yes, when the bed is up, you can put a full-size adult mountain bike in there. As far as putting 2, I am not sure about that. And that is something the Noovo team is going to have to put in a video. So there you go, Maggie. Put it in a video. for the subscribers. They want to see. And lastly, price. Noovo uses transparent pricing. They like to keep it simple, and they're going to come in at $232,750 for the Noovo Next. And like we said, that includes the suspension upgrades, the upgraded tires, the wheels, and all the added details that we described in the video. The only things that are optional are the Rover accessories on the back doors, which we highly recommend and absolutely love ours. The additional Starlink, I believe it is Starlink ready, of course, like all Noovo Vans, but to actually get that Starlink dish, you do need to pay for that via Noovo. And as of this video, I'm not sure if the front bumper will be optional or standard. That Noovo will have to answer.
So leave your questions in the comments below and let us know what you think of the Noovo Next. We're going to make sure we relay all of your questions and comments over to the Noovo team so that we can make this the best van possible.
But now it is time for us to get back to our regular travel vlogs. We hope you enjoyed the tour of the Noovo Next, and we will see you next week because we have a ton of adventures ahead. See you next time, everybody. Thanks for watching.
About to leave, already packing. Come with me, I'm not really asking. We'll get away to a place where we don't know. About to see